So welcome Adele and Bob from the Dutch Way of Life. Tell me something more about yourself. Oh, why are you doing this?
Well, we are both British.
Yes.
Come from the north of England.
Yeah.
And we came to the Netherlands around 6 years ago. We were both running our company in the UK at the time, back in 2018, 19. And but we'd started the page a few years before that, and because of the growth of the channel and because of the growth of the community and because I had this kind of vision to turn the Dutch way into a kind of platform for the world, we decided in August 2019 to emigrate from the UK to the Netherlands. Yeah, and to take it seriously and to kind of start a new life and start a company and try and turn this passion project of the Dutch way of life into something that could be a living for us, that we could make a living from, and that would also be something, you know, good for the world. So that's kind of the background of how we came to the Netherlands and, you know, about ourselves. So August 2019 was when we arrived in our caravan in Terhaya.
How or why do you started this journey, Dutch Way of Life?
Yeah, so you're saying what, you know, the reasons why we created this channel?
Yeah. The reason, yeah.
I mean, most people ask that, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, you know, because we lived in Germany for a few years, but we had a business there, but it was right near the border with the Netherlands. And we just found ourselves spending more time in the Netherlands, just the feeling of the local people and just feeling more accepted and welcomed and just a different vibe. So we started to love the Netherlands then, and then we moved back to England for quite a few years, but we always really missed being in the Netherlands. So we would take holidays there, obviously, but then you wanted to do something more from that point, didn't you? And you had this idea to create an online platform where, I mean, you could log our own stuff for us to look back on, but then that maybe other people would enjoy sharing these stories and experiences from the Netherlands. And so you started then, 10 years ago?
Yeah, so it was
Facebook page?
It was 2016 when we started the channel, and I'd been on a bike ride from Groningen to Enschede, 9 days. And I'd done that because, like Adele said, we'd lived in the Netherlands already. We'd lived out in Twente in a little village called Overdinkel, which was literally on the border. So the border's, 20 meters from our home for Germany. And that was where we discovered kind of what we call hidden Holland beyond Amsterdam, basically. We discovered all these places, these villages, these towns, these historical centres that were just empty and that we didn't know about. And that was kind of the beginning of me realising that the Netherlands, it's just so much more than Amsterdam, so much more than just its capital city. And I then went on to discover that, out of the 21 million people who come to the Netherlands from outside every year, I think 50 million people stay in Amsterdam and never leave Amsterdam. And when you visited the Netherlands like we have, so when you've been to places like, Appingedam or Sneek or Makkum or Zwolle or Kampen or any of these kind of historical spots, you say, well, why would you stay in Amsterdam? Why would you not go out of the city and see these places? And that's where the channel kind of started, is me going on this bike ride and discovering all these places and asking myself, at the height of summer, while I was on holiday on this bike ride, and there was in these little villages, places like Annen and Assen, if you know Drenthe, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Zuidlaren and Borge, and my question was, where is everybody? This is like the south of France or Florence or something, yet nobody's here. And that was where this curiosity came of maybe I could help these local businesses that really need visitors. In many cases, maybe I could kind of help that situation to show hidden Holland beyond Amsterdam. And I got back from the bike ride, and my Dutch friend Gijs.
Not an easy Dutch name to say.
No,
that was our good practice in Dutch. Gijs.
Gijs. We sat and had a coffee, and he said, "Weet je wat? You know what?" He said, "Jij moet een Facebookpagina beginnen." And I said, "Oh."
Yeah.
You think? He said, yeah, you should make one because I also think Dutch people are interested in that. And that's where it started in September 2016. I got back from the bike ride and I made this page.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Let's go back to last week. You were to Geervliet. You was going to Geervliet to live stream. We were full talking together. And then came I.
Yeah.
Then came I in your live stream.
Yeah.
So you were really surprised there was a person that came by and say, hello, I'm here.
We were so happy to see you there.
Yeah.
And it's so nice
I was
because
happy. Yeah.
you know, we go to all these different places and, you know, we hope to meet people.
Yeah.
You know, some people aren't open when someone comes and they're holding up a phone and they're filming. You know, some people step back. So we're always happy when there's someone who meets us, you know, and they want to connect with our community as well, because that's, you know, it's in person you see that it's me and Bob when we're in Geervliet, but actually it's me, Bob, and 50 people in South Africa, Canada, Australia, America, like people with Dutch roots or just people who love the Netherlands and want to travel with us. And so for me it's like then we all get to meet you and then you're happy to meet all these people and then say hi to them and then everyone's putting comments on saying so nice to meet you, and I love that. That was great.
And get you more interrupted in your videos or live stream videos or not?
Yeah, I mean...
We do occasion, yeah. What's really cool sometimes is when we're live and then, I mean, sort of similar to when you saw it, is like someone's just on Facebook and this video pops up and it's these two British people and they realise they're on their street.
or outside
so they
their
just
house.
come outside and they're like, hey, I'm watching you right now. So cool.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
full circle.
big listeners or big watchers.
Members,
Members,
laden.
Yeah.
So people talk about followers. How many followers you've got.
Yeah.
But really, I don't really like that name, followers. You know, what we are is a community, and we're a community of members, and every member is as important as the other member, whether you are following us every time or not. And so. Like I said to you, we get a lot of people when we're doing a live stream who send us messages or things like this. But the great thing was you actually came. You came to Geervliet and you stopped and you saw that actually when we're doing the live stream, we are the same now as when we're doing the live stream. And that's very important for us, that we show that social media can be used for a positive purpose in an authentic way, in a real way, which creates connection between humans. You can use social media like that. And, you know, I think it's important to remember that social media is like fire. You can either forge a beautiful bridge or you can burn an entire city down.
Yeah.
And you get to choose how you use it. So that's what we're trying to do as well with our channel, is kind of use these great tools that 20 years ago weren't available to us to kind of create community, educate people, bring people together, and kind of showcase this fantastic country.
Yeah. And where have you planning to visit other places at our Voorne Putten?
Yeah, well, we've already been to a few places, haven't we? We've been to
all
Brio
over
a couple of times.
Yeah,
we were there for the 450-year anniversary. That was really cool to see that. We also went in December.
Yeah.
1 year.
Hellevoetsluis, we were in.
Yeah.
Do you have is it a Havendagen in Hellevoetsluis? Do you have this event, Havendagen?
Yes.
I think we were at Havendagen 2 years ago.
Okay.
At Hellevoetsluis.
Yeah.
Big there.
Yeah, it's really big. You know, I think the thing is with your region, and it's like a lot of regions in the Netherlands, if I may say, if you just drive through the region on the main motorway or the main road, you would never imagine what's contained within that place, because everything looks so industrial and commercial and man-made. But the thing is with the Netherlands, what you have to do if you want to find the hidden gems, you have to come off the motorway. You have to come off the motorway and you have to look for the church towers, you know, and then head for those places. And I think on Voorne Putten you've got not only Geervliet, which is, you know, it's a stunning village, and it's not only a stunning village that, you know, the residents keep it so beautiful, but it's got incredible history that when people say, why the Netherlands? Why did you go to Gerfleet? And that's why I asked, well, have you been to Gerfleet? Like, have you seen it? Like, why? If you had, then you wouldn't ask me that. When we went there a few years ago, we got to meet a great guy who runs the Raadhuis. I forget his name now. But he let us in and we looked inside. But we also have them places like Heenvliet. So Heenvliet's very famous for the old horse market. You have the old castle there, the ruins and the gardens and things like this. And then you've got Abbenbroek, which is a kind of a little bit of a smaller village. It didn't have the same significance historically, but still, it's a kind of a medieval village. So, I think that's my advice for kind of anyone, having done, 400 virtual tours? And,
400 different locations. We've
been everywhere in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I think the tip is, go and explore, because when you're inside the bottle, you can't read the label properly. When you live in a country, you can't always see it because you're in it. Whereas if you actually watch our channel and you watch what we do, you'll start to see things maybe that you didn't see before. And I think it's fair to say for both of us that when we get messages from Dutch people, that's kind of extra special for us, because we know we must be doing something right when we're getting messages from Dutch people saying, hey, I live in, I don't know, Zutphen, and I never realised how amazing this place was. And now I'm walking through the city and I'm looking at it with new eyes. And that to us is very, very fulfilling, because isn't it a shame if you were to spend your whole life sitting on a box of gold complaining that you're poor? Would be a shame to me, that you're living in this beautiful place, but you're not really seeing it. And that's what we try and do as well. We try and point out, look, this is beautiful and this is nice and isn't this interesting? And, het gewone in het buitengewone vinden, zeg maar.
Do you have a place that you say, wow, this is it?
Oh, are you trying to cause polarization on the radio, Marie? We'll have Friesland up in arms if we don't. I mean, no, seriously.
It's
the most beautiful place in the Netherlands that you loved. You've seen a lot.
Yeah, we've done tours in 400 places around the Netherlands.
Wow. Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many different places. I mean, we had a few days in Limburg. And it's just like a different country. It's like a totally different experience. We went to Valkenburg, up the lift thing to the tower, and that was an amazing experience and really unique for in the Netherlands.
I think a bit.
It's so hard to name a favorite.
Yeah, I think a bit. If I might say, the good question would be like the top places or tips for people. So. From my perspective, places that we've really loved, if I remember back, we're living in the main place. We live in Willemstad.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been to Willemstad, then, you have to go to Vestingstede. But, early morning in Gouda, on the square in Gouda, people pass off Gouda as being a tourist spot, but actually it's one of the most, aesthetically beautiful cities in the country. But then you've got places like Gorinchem, which is also one of our favourite places.
Also, one of my top things, if we have visitors, is to go and hire a boat in Leiden.
Yeah.
And go around the rivers in Leiden. Oh, on a nice day.
Yeah, it's
lovely.
It's fantastic. And there are so many spots, and especially here in your region, Den Briel, if you want to go have a day out and learn about, the history of the Netherlands, obviously there's a lot of talk of Dutch and the Netherlands right now. It's like, well, these places are where the country was kind of born, Hellevoetsluis was where the Admiralty lay, the ships from the Dutch Republic lay. That was their main harbour. So there's loads to say one place is kind of really difficult. But for me personally, if I had to choose, if you said, okay, now you have a day, where would you go? It would probably be West-Friesland.
Okay.
Yeah, Enkhuizen, Bovenkarspel, Hoorn, although Hoorn isn't quite West-Friesland, and Medemblik. West-Friesland in April.
When you go to Gerfleet, and when we met each other, you said about the church. This is the history about the church, and I was surprising. Whoa, you know about the church, what the history is. How do you know about it? Do you read books? Do you read articles, or going to the internet for the information, or
I guess we do everything we can. That's, a lot of people see the tours that we make and the videos that we make, and that is the fun, cool side. There is also a lot of research that goes into stuff because we want to dig these stories out and these interesting facts and histories, which everywhere has pretty much. But it does take like some Dutch language or knowing where to look as well. And that's where we can really help our community, because Tilly over in the USA, who, maybe doesn't speak that great Dutch and doesn't know specific Dutch sites, like how do you know how to dig into the history of a certain place? It takes a lot of knowing where to look. A lot of it is online. We also have a huge amount of books.
Yeah,
Bob spends a lot of time in the bookshops.
I think one of the sources we use is a lot of old travel books. So old travel books from like the 70s and 80s. Sounds strange, but that was like the golden age of travel in the 80s, and so we spend a lot of time reading. But like Adele says, the big challenge with people outside the Netherlands who don't speak Dutch is to find more than just the surface level story. So
to know like where to find the local heemkundekring and be able to access all these old stories.
Or for example, like Wikipedia is like the surface level.
Yeah, very basic.
But if you want to get a bit more, you have to dig a bit deeper, and that involves then reading Dutch. And so a lot of our work, it's research, especially sometimes we're doing a double tour where we'll go to two places, and then we have to do the research for that. And I think one of the things that we try to do is make it a kind of educative experience as well. And, we're not always super accurate, or we don't always know. But I think that the point of our channel isn't to preach at people and tell people. The point is that they get involved and that they ask questions. And you've noticed if I need some help with one of the live stream tours, I ask the people watching, hey, can someone go on Google and check that out? And that's kind of part of the tour. So rather than making passive videos, what we're trying to do is make interactive kind of historical, cultural experiences for people, and which you can then help with by doing the research for me. Yeah.
And it's amazing how much we learn on a tour just by the people watching who just happen to be on Facebook, and Facebook happens to show them our video, and then they go, oh, I know about this building and I know about this story.
Because Dutch people love to teach about their region. That's the curious thing about you guys. You are going all over the world, like Australia and New Zealand. But when it comes to going to another province, hey, nou, waarom zou ik nou Noord-Holland gaan? And it's a curious thing with Dutch people. You're very well travelled, yet when it comes to outside your own provinces, it's not so much. And that's also what we want to do. We want to say, hey, look, if you're going to Friesland, look what is there. Already you don't need to go to the south of France. You could go to Friesland in summer. So, yeah.
Holland is beautiful also.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable country.
Yeah. I was thinking about last week. You said about the church and a lot of history, and then I said, "Do you know that the king was here?" Oh,
yeah. We missed him.
Yeah. It was a week before.
I couldn't believe he didn't text us, to be honest.
No,
I was really disappointed that we did not get a text from Willem Alexander. I thought, what is going on? But yeah,
I saw the movie back, and
he was in Geervliet, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that about?
The gemeente.
Yeah, the municipality.
Yeah, Nissewaard.
Yeah.
We're on it. They were 10 years old, and they asked him to come by in Geervliet and in Spijkenisse. So he did, and it was really fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah.
That's so cool. We saw the sign in the window that said, goodbye, Willem Alexander. And I didn't...
No, it was tot ziens.
Oh, yeah, tot ziens, Willem.
And I was like, huh?
I thought that was very optimistic of the lady to put that sign in a window.
You have to... you've seen the drinking cups. Was also from the king.
Oh,
in the window, these cups we saw.
Yeah.
They were for the king's visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you go and wave and...
No. I had something else.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wasn't there.
And he was in Geervliet, then he walked through the city and... Yeah.
It was, he said it was like a small King's Day. With all the
Brilliant.
children in orange and
I can't believe we missed that.
with small Dutch flags and yeah.
We saw the king once in Gouda, didn't we?
Yeah.
He also didn't text that time
We went
either.
to track him down in Gouda, and we were like 2 meters away from him. Like, yeah.
It's like, Willem. No, he didn't see me, so.
So, last question. What's your opinion about this small villages in this island? Is it different with other places in Holland, or is it the same?
The Netherlands and the places within the Netherlands are defined to a great part by the landscape that they're built within. So the villages on Fornaputte are a response to the landscape. So lots of dikes, lots of water, lots of old walls, because of course this area 500 years ago there was a lot more water than there is now. Yeah. So I would say no. I mean, you have places like Geervliet and Heenvliet, but then if you go, for example, onto the Hoogse Waard, then it's completely changing. And then if you were to go north up to the Maasland, Maaslaus, what's this area called? Westland.
Yes.
If you go up to the Westland, it's different again, isn't it? It's completely different. Yeah. So that's one of the special things about the Netherlands. You don't have to go far to see something different. But as far as I'm concerned, Fornaputte is, potentially over 1,000 years old in terms of the settlements. And I think that's what people might not realise when they're just driving through. They don't realise that actually Forna and Putte and the lords of Forna and the lords of Putte were incredibly powerful people, incredibly important for the development of the country. And places like Geervliet and Heenvliet, which now are kind of, with full respect, kind of small, sleepy little villages. That's why we go there, because we look beyond that. We look for the hidden parts that show us that this was a very important place. And so if you are interested in, Dutch history or culture, then Fornaputte is a really great place to come, because you've got Den Briel and Hellevoetsluis, so the bigger places, but then you've got these 3 little villages. I mean, I know that Hoogvliet exists, but if I was spending a day in Fornaputte, I would look at Heenvliet, Geervliet and Abbenbroek. I think if you're on a bicycle, for example, it's a lovely day out. So all you have to do is dig a bit deeper in this area, come off the motorway, and start to explore.
Where can we find you of the internet?
Our Facebook page is...
Yeah, we're in a few places. We're on Facebook, The Dutch Way of Life.
Yeah.
Also on YouTube and...
Instagram. Instagram's a big one for us at the moment.
We started on Facebook, so Facebook's our biggest community at the moment, but we are growing on YouTube as well. Yeah,
you can check it out, facebook.com/The Dutch Way of Life. You can Google us. We had an article in the newspaper this week. So if you go on Google, you'll find that as well.
In the Beendestem?
In the Beendestem. They came round to our house and we had to tidy up and stuff. But that was great as well. But mainly Facebook, yeah. If you check us out there, you'll find our content and a lot of our videos on YouTube as well.